Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hi everybody, how are you all doing? Good? Oh, that's great. Okay, so as you all know that we are doing heroes of our country, and by heroes we don't mean the Bollywood, the Tollywood, the Hollywood heroes, not the actors. Okay, what we are talking about are the actual heroes who fought for our country, who fought for various things, like for overcoming various wrongs and to implement the good things. So, like last time we did Mangal Pandey, if you'll remember. This time we have another superhero with us. His name is Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Now, you all may have heard of him, or maybe not. If not as Babasaheb Ambedkar, he is also known as the father of Indian Constitution. Okay, now why is that? Because he is the one who rose his voice and who got many changes in the Constitution, and who was actually the one behind the Constitution. Like initially there was no Constitution. You all know the Constitution, the rules and the laws in the country. Yes. So initially there wasn't any, but then he said we should have one, and then he brought about changes with time, and that's how we have this beautiful constitution. Yes, every constitution has their flaws, but you have to start somewhere, right? And then you cannot be like 100% right, and then you keep improvising on it with time. So I thought, why not take you all through his entire life story? Wouldn't that be fun? Yes? Okay, great. So what we'll do is we'll get started with the story. I know superhero stories like these, they are no less than heroes, let me tell you all. So don't tell ma'am, but he's not a superhero like Superman, Batman. These people are more than those, okay? Because they did not have powers, yet they brought so many changes and they protected their country and the countrymen. Yes, so always remember that. Let's get started. So I'll show you all the video. Yes, so today we're going to do the life story of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, who's also known as the father of the Indian Constitution. Okay, let's start. So we'll be going through only once, so make sure that you all listen to me properly. Okay, let's get started. So you all know Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was born on 14th April 1891 in Mahou, Madhya Pradesh. Mahou, Madhya Pradesh. Okay. His childhood name was Bhimrao. So now we know his name is Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. He's also known as the father of Indian Constitution, but his childhood name was Bhimrao. Yes, and of course his parents loved him a lot. His father's his parents definitely loved him a lot. His father's name was Ramji Sakpal, and his mother's name was Bhimbai Sakpal. Okay. His father, now if you look at his father's attire, the dress that he is wearing, you'll come to that, okay, maybe he's some kind of a person in the army or a guard or something like that. So his father was a subedar in the British army. What do you mean by subedar? Subedar is a person, it's a ranking in the army basically. Okay, so his father was a subedar in the British army. Looks like one, right? Okay, now in those days, the government ensured that all the army personnel and their children went to school. Why? Because if they got educated, they could have got them into the army, and now they'll be understanding English, and it becomes easier for communication. So they ensured all of them were quite educated, and then they ran special schools for these purposes also. But only army personnel and their children could get education. And Bhimrao, that is Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, was very, very fortunate because his father was a subedar in the British Army. So this ensured good education for Bhimrao, right? Okay. After his retirement, Bhimrao's father settled in Satara, Maharashtra. Okay. Now, Satara is not a very big place, but it is well known in Maharashtra. Bhimrao was enrolled into the local school. Now, even though he was shifted to Satara, since his father had served the British Army, he could still go to the local school. Okay, he was an intelligent and hardworking student, but he was born as Shudras, meaning untouchables. So initially in India, we had like various segments of the societies, and there was this one particular segment, or I can say one particular race. I cannot say race basically. It's actually at that point of time, people were divided into 4 different groups, and one of the groups were Shudras. Now that's not a good thing to do. Those people were called as untouchables. So no one would sit with them, talk to them. They would not allow them to enter the temples. So they were looked down upon, which is very bad. Okay. So he belonged to the Shudras. Now he experienced caste discrimination right from childhood. And that can be really bad. In the school, he had to sit on the floor in one corner in the classroom. That's very bad, right? Hey, look at him. Ha, 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 ha. The other students used to tease him. The teachers would not touch his notebooks. Sir, can you please check my homework? No, not now, said his teacher. Upper caste students would not talk, study, or even play with him. Now, if so much is happening with a child, imagine if something happened like that with you. If it happened with me, I would feel so sad. I would feel like, have I done something wrong? I would start crying. I would stop going to school. But Bhimrao was strong. He always wanted to study, and that's how you should be. Irrespective of how others treat you. If you want to do something, you have to achieve it. Okay? So yes, no one would play with him. So he used to ask, can I play with you? Go away. We don't play with you. We don't want to play with you. He was also not allowed to drink water from the vessels used by the upper class students. Hey, what are you doing? You cannot drink water from this glass. And despite all these difficulties, young Bhimrao never lost his heart. Okay, by the quality of his hard work, determination, and commitment, he earned several scholarships to support his education. What do you mean by scholarship? Scholarships are when someone else pays money for your education. They find that you're very intelligent, you can do really well in your life. So they say, okay, you study, we will sponsor your education. Okay. So he attained a lot of scholarships. His teacher gave him the surname Ambedkar in school records. Okay, in 1906, when he was just 15 years old, he got married to Ramabai, who was just 9 years old at that time. So at that time, okay, now that is illegal, right? Right now, you cannot get married below the age of 21. That's the legal age for marriage, I think, or 18, I guess. But at that point of time, uh, child marriage was prevalent. Okay, so he was 14, the girl was 9 years old, and they got married. Bhimrao continued his studies and passed his matriculation exam from Bombay University with flying colors in 1908. Okay, he joined the Elphinstone College for further education. In 1912, he graduated in political science and economics. That's the reason why he was into politics, and he was known as the father of Indian Constitution. Okay, from the Bombay University, and got a job in Baroda. Okay, during a public ceremony, Dada Keluskar gifted him biography of Buddha. Yo, this is a small gift for you. What is it, sir? It is a biography of Buddha. It will guide you to lead a successful life, the old man said. In 1913, Bhimrao Ambedkar lost his father, but nothing could stop him from achieving what he wanted. In the same year, Maharaja of Baroda, because there were kings at that point of time also, Britishers did not capture the entire India, right? There were bits and parts, there were segments which were still under the control of various kings. So the king of Baroda awarded scholarship to Bhimrao Ambedkar and sent him to America for further studies. Can you imagine at that point of time, someone sponsored him and he went to America for further studies. So Bhimrao reached New York in July 1913. For the first time in his life, Bhimrao was not demeaned for being a Mahar. What do you mean by Mahar? An untouchable, Shudra. Okay. He immersed himself in studies and received a degree in Masters of Arts. Now, Master of Arts does not mean drawing, okay? It means it's related to political science only. And a doctorate in philosophy from the Columbia University in 1916. Okay? Now, why are we doing this? You all don't have to have the years. We are just doing this to show you that those leaders have done so much for us, but they were able to do that only because they were well educated and they really wanted to achieve something in life. Now, if you want to achieve something, you'll have to make sure that you all work hard for it. Yes? Okay. For his thesis, National Dividend for India, a historical and analytical study. From America, Dr. Ambedkar proceeded to London to study economics and political science. But the Baroda government terminated his scholarship and called him back. Why? Because they only given scholarship for US, right? For New York. And now he went to London to study further. Someone cannot just keep paying, right? They also have a limit. So what they had actually agreed upon was that you go to America, you study for a year, 2 years, 3 years, scholarship is yours. But once you come back, you need to work for us in Baroda. Okay, you need to work for the king. And he agreed. But later on, he decided, no, I want to continue studies. So he went to London. But what happened was that he had no money and he could not live, he could not sustain himself that well. So he had to come back. Okay. The Maharaja of Baroda appointed Dr. Ambedkar as his political secretary. Right? I told you, he promised that he would come back and serve the king. But no one could take orders from him because he was a Mahar. Now, he was very intelligent, but being a Mahar, a Shudra, and untouchable, the others looked down on him and they said, like, we're not going to take orders from you even though you're intelligent. Okay? Kind of a thing. So please read this document and sign. He said, who are you to give me orders? I will not sign it. Bhimrao Ambedkar returned to Bombay in November 1917. With the help of Shahu Maharaj of Kolar, he started fortnightly newspaper, the Mukh Nayak, on January 31st, 1920. Okay, and starting a newspaper at that point of time was a very big thing. Okay, the Maharaja also organized many meetings and conferences of the untouchables which Bhimrao addressed. My friends, we will not suffer anymore. We will fight this battle together. This is for the untouchables, okay? In September 1920, after accumulating sufficient funds, Ambedkar went back to London to complete his studies. Did you see that? That's what you need to do. You need to focus on your dreams and make sure you'll achieve it, okay? He became a barrister and got a doctorate in science. That's a big achievement. While practicing law in Bombay High Court, he tried to promote education to untouchables and uplift them. During that period, Shudras were not allowed to drink water. That's very bad. Used by the upper caste. Remember, he had faced that in school as well, and were not allowed to enter temples. Like I had told you, there were many rules that they had to follow. In 1927, Babasaheb Ambedkar had decided to launch an active movement against untouchability. He began with public marches to open up the public drinking water resources and led a satyagraha in Mahad. The public drinking water should be open to all, he said. We will not suffer anymore. Now it's public water, right? Like lakes, wells and all. So if it's a well, it does not belong to any particular person. So why should someone not be allowed to drink water? That is so wrong. So he's like, no, we've had enough and now we have equal rights. We should be given equal rights to draw water from the same well. Okay, he also began a struggle for the right to enter the temples. Now, does God distinguish in any of us? No. Then who are we humans to distinguish between each other? That's absolutely wrong. So, and led a Kalaram temple satyagraha in Nasik. Okay, even we have the right to enter the temple. Let us fight this together, he said. Dr. Ambedkar attended all the 3 roundtable conferences in London with the Britishers, okay, and forcefully argued for the welfare of the untouchables. That's a big, big step. Okay. In 1937, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar introduced a bill to abolish the Kothi system of land tenure in the Konkan region and the Mahar Watan system of working for the government as slaves. So what happened was British rule, correct? So they had all the land. If we had to do farming, we had to pay them money. Even though it's our land, they have conquered it. They have forcefully taken it from us, and still we had to pay. Second was that they came to our country and they made us slaves and we were working for them, which is absolutely wrong. So he said, we need to abolish all of this. Sorry. A clause of the agrarian bill referred to the depressed classes as Harijans or people of God. Bhimrao strongly opposed to this title for the untouchables. But the Indian National Congress succeeded in introducing the term Harijans. Why should someone be distinguished based on their caste, their gender, their creed, their religion? It's absolutely wrong. We're not going to do that, okay? Whatever has happened in the past, we need to learn from it and move ahead, okay? Good. Ambedkar felt bitter that he could not have any say in what they were called. That's bad, right? In 1947, when India became independent from the Britishers, the first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, invited Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, who had been elected as a member of the Constituent Assembly from Bengal, to join the cabinet as a law minister. He was appointed as the chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee. So remember, after 1947, the first Indian constitution that was made, so Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was the chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee. What's a drafting committee? A person who makes all the rules and laws. Okay. And, that is the reason why he's called the father of the Indian Constitution. In February 1948, Dr. Ambedkar presented the draft constitution before the people of India, and it was adopted on November 26, 1949. You all will learn this in history, okay, in civics. He lost his 4 children and his wife Rama, but he never stopped working for the nation. Can you see his determination? Yes. On 14th October 1956, he and his second wife, Savita Ambedkar, okay, converted themselves to Buddhism at Diksha Bhumi in Nagpur. So once he led his entire life happily, did something for the country, he said, okay, I'm done. Remember that old man had gifted him a book on Buddhism? So he decided, finally, now I need peace. So he converted into Buddhism. He proceeded to convert about 5 lakh of his supporters to Buddhism. And he also, encouraged others to practice Buddhism. After the completion of the book, Buddha and his Dharma, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar died on 6 December 1956 at his home in New Delhi. So this was the beautiful life story of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, and he has achieved a lot in life. So I hope, and his achievements were all based on his hard work, his determination. So I hope you all also fix the aim and fix a goal and aim for it. Yes. Okay. Now you all may have noticed one thing. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, since the age of 14, there's this one particular thing he was very, very, concerned about, and he was very particular about. He used to dress himself in like nice suit and nice tie. He always wore a tie, always a suit and tie. You'll never see him like in casuals, like very particular. So I thought, why not make a nice origami tie? What do you say? Yes? Okay, let's go ahead. So do you all have your supplies together? Yes? So if you don't have, just go and get your supplies quickly and we are going to start. I'll just give you a minute, okay? Ready, everybody? Can I start? Great, let's start. So we're going to make origami tie. Let's go ahead. Let's see what will we be needing today. So we will be needing 1 sheet of square paper. Okay. And I have used 15 by 15 centimeters. I had mentioned the dimensions also, but if you'll have 20 by 20 centimeter, 10 by 10, or if you have anything in inches, but no problem at all. Okay, so take a piece of paper and fold it in a triangular form. Can you see how I'm doing it? Fold it in a triangular form. Done? Great. Now open it again, take it on the other side and fold it in a triangular form again, the other 2 ends. Done? This was easy. These 2 steps were easy. Okay, let's go ahead, open it. Now take one end of it and touch it to the center. Can you see how I'm doing it? One end and touch it to the center. Done? Great. Let's go ahead. Now opposite end, take it and touch it to the center. Done? So this is how it's going to look basically. You'll have the same, yes? Sorry, same? Okay, great. Let's go ahead. Now what we're going to do is take one side and fold it up to the center. Can you see how I'm doing it? Great. Done, everybody? Okay, great. Let's go ahead. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Fold it and get it to the center. Done. This is how it's going to look. So now it's starting to look like a tie, but we need to do a little more to convert it into a proper tie. Yes? Okay, let's go ahead. Now what we're going to do is take one of the sides and fold the triangular part. So nothing should be visible. Can you see it? How I folded it? Done? Okay, let's go ahead. Now flip it around and just randomly fold a bit. Randomly till wherever you want. Sorry. See, can you see it? I have randomly folded it a little above the triangle. Can you see it? Great. Let's go ahead. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch the part and I'm going to fold it till the triangle. So I'll have like a little extra part over there. If you turn it, can you see the little extra part over here? Yes? Okay, great. Now this is going to help me to form my tie, the bow part up. Yes? Let's continue. Great. Let's continue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the sides and fold it till the center. So I'll have like a tapering thing. Can you see it? Do you want me to show it again? Let's do it. Okay. This is the extra part that I have. Now I'm going to flip it around again where I have my folds. Take one of the corners and get it to the center. And I'm going to fold it. It's going to have a tapering end. And over here, I'm just going to press it. So this is how I've done it. Can you all see it? A small triangular will be formed over here. Small triangle. Triangular shape. Done? I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to take the edge and I'm going to get it to the center. Have a nice tapering end. Yes, and form a triangular shape over here. Done. Now you want to see what it is? Let's flip it and your tie is ready. Done? Okay, great. So any confusions in the last part? Okay, so what we'll do is we will go from the start again, but a little faster. I won't stop this time. Okay. So what y'all will be needing for the tie origami is basically a 15 centimeter by 15 centimeter square paper. Any other measurements are okay till the time it's square. Okay. So I'm going to have a paper and I'm going to touch the opposite ends and fold it. Yes. Open it up. Go on to the other two ends and fold them together again, just like the previous one. Yes. Done. Okay, open it. Take one of the sides and touch the edges, the corners to the center, the edges. Repeat the process on the opposite end. Yes. Now take that particular edge and fold it till the center line. Like this. Done. Repeat it on the other side, opposite side. Great. Now, can you see you have two white squares on both the ends? Take one of them and fold it into a triangular form. So we have closed it. Now, what you need to do is flip it around, fold take a random measurement, but a little above the triangular part. Done. Now, open it and just randomly make another fold, like pinch it above so that you touch the edge of the triangle. Yes. Done. Can you see it? Okay, great. Now what you need to do is keep the fold on and take one of the edges and touch it to the center. You'll have a tapering end and make a triangle formation on the side. Done? Repeat the process. Take the edge, touch it to the center, have a tapering end, make a triangle formation at the top. And you're done with the tie. Let's flip it. And yes, this is your beautiful tie. Can you see it? Yes? Great. So did you all enjoy today's class? Yes? Great. So So I know freedom fighters, learning about freedom fighters can be a little dry and boring. Sometimes I'm trying to make it as interesting as possible, but it's very important to know about them. Yes, why? Because they have fought for our country, and that's why we are living free without the Britishers ruling over us, right? Great. So I have a very interesting story for the next class. Of course, it's very, very interesting. It's about one particular incident, about a very famous personality. All of you all know it, and he's there on our notes also, on our Indian currency. Can you all guess it in the chat section? Correct. It's Gandhiji. So if you want to know one particular very famous incident, why don't you join me in the next class? Yes. So your submission is you'll need to take a nice picture, maybe like keep the tie over here and take a nice photo, or maybe just punch holes, make tie a ribbon or something and tie it around your neck and take a nice photo and send it across to me. Yes. Don't forget, you'll need to attend all the classes and make your submissions to get your certification. So I am going to see you all in the next class. Until then, bye.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this